Hey, what is up, guys? Teacher Keith here. This is my first installment in the ongoing series of tourism in Israel and the Palestinian territories. This one is coming out of Lonely Planet Israel. Uh, it is Israel and the Palestinian territories. We are going to be examining the Galilee. Okay, so personally, I went to Israel multiple times uh, so that I could relate what I had read in my childhood from the Bible to real life. So here we have the Galilee, and the main city of the Galilee is going to be Nazareth. That is a population of 60,000. So fairly small town, I would call it. Okay, so here we go. Nazareth, a cacophony of market vendors, blaring car horns, and church bells. Modern Nazareth will come as quite a shock if you're imagining the bucolic Christmas card images of the Annunciation and Jesus' childhood home. Okay. Um, the largest Arab city in Israel, Nazareth is swallowing up the surrounding olive groves and farms and pine forest at an ever increasing pace. Where there's a view, there's a house on the hillside, and where there's a one-way street, there's sure to be a kilometer-long traffic jam heading the other way. But the disappointment does not last long. Nazareth is a vibrant city with a feel of a small village and offers much more than its Christian pilgrimage history. Okay. While the myriad of churches are certainly worth a visit, come to explore the cobbled streets of the old city with its crumbling mansions, authentic souk, and excellent restaurants specializing in local dishes. While the controversial Nazareth 2000 project, a joint project of the Israeli government and the local municipality, approximately US $80 was to be invested in the extensive renovation and restoration of the Old City to celebrate the millennium in the Holy Land. Unfortunately, much of the money was squandered or spent on Upper Nazareth, hmm, the Jewish section of town. Okay. Has stalled since the start of the Second Intifada. Tourists can take advantage of the early success. The winding alleyways of the old city, beautifully lit at night, preservation of some of the historical homes, and investment onto a range of interesting new accommodation options. With its proximity to nearby Christian sites such as Mount Tabor, Nazareth makes an ideal base for a few days touring the lower Galilee. Okay. Especially on Shabbat when everything is open for business, unlike the rest of the country. Okay. Okay, so let's do the history here. The words of Nathanael of Cana, can anything good come out of Nazareth? John 1:47 characterize the town's insignificance in its early years around the time of Jesus. It's thought that Nazareth was a home to the Christian community until the 3rd century, when interest in the town dwindled. Okay. It was rekindled late in the 6th century due to reports that the town had been the site of a number of miracles, and that a local synagogue had kept the book in which Jesus learned to write and the bench he sat on. It can't have done Nazareth's reputation any harm, either, that it was rumored to have the region's most beautiful women. A result, it was said, of them all being related to the Holy Virgin Mary. Despite being predominantly Jewish, at the time the town experienced a boom in church construction. The Crusaders, who'd made Nazareth their Galilean capital, dedicated a church to the Annunciation and another to the angel Gabriel. After the Christian Knights' defeat at the Horns of Heaton in 1187, pilgrims were still able to visit Nazareth owing to a series of truces. But by the 13th century, the danger from Muslim attack was too great. In the 17th century, the Franciscans were able to buy back the ruins of the Church of the Annunciation, and a Christian presence was reestablished, albeit under difficult and often hostile conditions. In 1730, they built a new church, which was demolished in 1955 to be replaced by the modern basilica that you see today. Okay, during the British Mandate, Nazareth was the administration's headquarters in the Galilee. When the British pulled out in 1948, Israeli forces seized the town. Modern-day Nazareth, known to Arabs as An Nashra, has a population that's part Christian, part Muslim. Since the 1950s, it has also grown to include Jewish Nazrat Illit. Or Upper Nazareth, an industrial town. Okay, so we have time here to do orientation. Most sites of pilgrim interest are concentrated in the center of the Old City. The main street is Paul the Sixth Street, which runs from the junction with the Haifa Afula Highway to the south, up through the town center and to Mary's Well, where it becomes Nam Sawi Road. The other important street is El Bishara Street, also known as Annunciation or Casanova, which intersects with Paul VI Street and runs up to the market in front of the basilica. All right, so that is all for my first lesson, and welcome to the Galilee, welcome to Nazareth. Yeah, that is all for now. All right, so I will see you in the next lesson. Don't forget to like and smash me a subscribe. I look forward to seeing you as my loyal subscriber. Bye-bye, bye-bye.